Drugs, sex, violence, action, and revenge. What in the world or transport to another world did I get myself into? This is Redo of Healer. Let's get to the take. So I decided to give in and watch Redo of a Healer after all the hype because I heard it was shocking, and it does start off by letting you know that it's TVMA. So I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes, right? For the first step, I'm thinking, can it be worse than episode 1 of Goblin Slayer? No, it couldn't be worse than that, right? So let's give this a shot. I did watch it in sub, and there is no dub available as of yet. And full disclosure, there is a censored version and an uncensored. I did watch the censored version on VRV, but later I did watch the uncensored version. For reasons, let's just say. It'll be explained later. I can't tell you where to watch it uncensored, but I can tell you that it is out there with a quick Google search and just a little bit of determination. So how do I start? Well, Redo takes place in a fantasy world, full of magic, demons, creatures, etc. The show starts off with an ample picture, let's just say, but then it gets right to the action scene. Definitely going to be a fan service show. For the first step, you're not introduced to many of the characters that you see in the opening credits. We learn pretty fast watching this who the antagonist is. Not quite sure who the good guy is though. It is a little twisted for sure. Let's start with the main character, Kyaru. This guy goes through hell. You actually feel really bad for him in just one episode. You learn right away that he was drugged and basically tortured, and he's out for revenge. So I won't give any spoilers by telling you how he's out to get revenge, but they are setting it up pretty nicely, and it's pretty cool how they did it actually. In the opening sequence, the way they have Kyaru look reminds me a lot of the Grab and Dragon in High School DxD. Granted, it might just because of the gauntlet, but with this being TVMA, I'm betting there's going to be more than one similarities to it. The next character is Princess Flare. She is, ample. When the show says it's rated TVMA, it wasn't kidding. She was that first image that you were seeing in the beginning of the show. She is a princess, but not the peach kind. More like the Rising of the Shield hero, older sister type kind. Actually worse. Maybe a lot worse. Yep, she's bad. We only really get character development from these two. It is the first step, and it did feel more like a prologue than anything. A lot of explaining and backstory, but it is entertaining. I feel like they could have just started the show there instead of bringing us back, but I do understand why they did it. The opening action scene was pretty cool though. For a first episode, it is understandable. So when it comes to their powers, it all seems pretty generic except for Kyaru. As the title states, healer. That's his power. But if you were thinking all he does is heal, you would be wrong. It is a very interesting take on his power and all the different ways that he's using it. Never would have thought of it. It's pretty creative. But it makes sense when you think about it. Just like how in Rising of the Shield hero, that shield has more than one use, same kind of thing. One thing that the show is good at is letting you know exactly what it is in the first episode. It's twisted, it's dark, it has action, it has fan service. Not at all as shocking as Goblin Slayer episode 1, but from what I understand, the shocking moment has not happened yet. Kinda excited and at the same time, kinda a little scared, because they said it's worse. They also did a really good job at laying out where this may be heading. Kyaru has a well thought out plan, and he has it set in motion already for his revenge. Now when the fan service hits, it was a bit of a shock. Now if you're wondering at this point why it's TVMA, you won't be wondering why after this. There was about a 2-minute scene with some maids, and let's just say I'm glad nobody walked in on me while this was playing. It's as close to hentai as you can get. It was a little distracting watching with the blacked out bits and edits. For this reason, the uncensored was better. By having it censored, it honestly just brought more attention to it than if they didn't. Plus, the uncensored did have a little bit more footage that was actually kind of funny. I have to admit this though, they did work out a good reason for having this scene in there. It is necessary for the plot. He explains it during the maid scene, and I'm sure there will be many more scenes like this to come as the show goes on. It actually does make perfect sense though. It isn't just mindless fan service for the sake of having fan service, though they might just carry it on a little bit longer than they need to for that exact same mindless reason. So in short, I'm not 100% sure where this show is heading, but I am intrigued, and I am looking forward to the next episode as episode 1 doesn't really tell you a lot yet, but it does leave you wanting more, which is a good thing. It seems like it's going to have a lot of sexy time in it, and if you can look past that, it's entertaining, but if you can't, it's probably not a show you can watch or should watch. or maybe just watch the censored version. Both were entertaining, just like the uncensored better because there was less distractions in it. That's the only reason. Really, it's the only reason. As far as violence goes, was it that bad? Nah, not really, but I mean, it was just the first episode. As far as the fan service goes, seems like it's going to be somewhere between Sister New Devil and High School DxD. Seems to be a very interesting show, and I hope it's not just about the shock factor, as it was the slow pace really for the first episode. But like I said, it was entertaining. I won't know if it's worth continuing until I get to that 3-episode stretch that we all strive for. I'll be back with that review later to let you know if it's worth continuing or not. I hope this helps in case you were wondering whether to start this or not. Let me know in the comments below if you watched it. If you're gonna watch it, do you think you'll continue it if you did watch it? I'll see you after I watch episode 3. That's all I got for Meow. I'll see you next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe!